What's good, YouTube? What's good, YouTube? Welcome back. Welcome back, man. Welcome back to another show episode. The Chronicles, your Fresh and Fit Chronicles, man. Fresh, man, he going through it, man. He is going through it, man. Now you got pretty much, if y'all haven't heard, right? You pretty much, man, got Auburn Preach on this. You know, man, Auburn Preach, man, want to jump on Fresh and Fit every chance they get. So apparently, Auburn does an interview with the woman who's pretty much claiming, right, that she has a child by Fresh. So, you know, it's real messy, man. You know, it's real messy. Let me go ahead and try to pull some of the stuff up for you guys. But man, yeah, it's getting real messy, man. And yeah, man. I'm trying to pull this up for you guys. But yeah, man. You know, now the good thing about this is we get some questions answered, right? We get some questions answered. You know, your boy Myron, in my opinion, he does pretty good of in a sense dismantling some of the things. Now the thing is, your name is still wrapped up in this. The fact that this shit still happened, that's the biggest issue here, right? That's the biggest issue. So, you know, man, it's getting wild over here. You know, so everybody, of course, want to have their piece in it. Everybody want 32 cents in it. You know, like I said, of course, Auburn Preach is going to throw their 2 cents in it, man. And like I said, it's funny. It is funny, man. But also at the same time, man, he's, you know, Auburn Preach is biased. Now, when you do see the video with Auburn Preach even talking about it, I want to say it was Preach. You know, he had some questions and like, man, look, sis don't really know what she even talking about, right? Even in the video, she even says that, you know, because he hits her with a pretty decent question. In the video, she says that, hey, well, you know, I would even, if I like a guy, I will have his child within a week. Like clearly Dumbo, right? Clearly Dumbo. But the thing is, Fresh is dealing with the chick. Fresh was dealing with the chick, you know, and so this is where you have bad. This is where you have pretty much bad vetting. This is a bad vetting process. That was a freaking bad vetting process, and he was doing a lot of lying, pretty much saying that, hey, well, you know, I'm not dating this girl, you know, and like I said, the interview pretty much exposes everything. So, you know, like I said, man, look, let's go ahead and jump into this, man. You know, I hope y'all had a wonderful day, man. I hope y'all had a wonderful day. We're going to try to pull this up for you guys. And I hope y'all had a wonderful day. 12 o'clock about to roll around, man. I know y'all saw the eclipse. I was sitting over here staring deep into the eclipse, to be honest with you. Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
And we are live, or in this case, I should say, I am live. Guys, today we are going to be exposing the truth. Over. Let's get into it. Let's go. And I am live, guys. What's up? Welcome to the Fresh Fit Podcast, but it's a special one. It's only going to be me today, guys, because we got a lot to talk about. We got receipts upon receipts upon receipts, and Fresh is not going to be involved in today's show, guys. Obviously, as you guys know, there's some legal stuff that's going to be going on in the background, and quite frankly, he didn't really want to do this, but I said, you know what? Nah, we got to come out with the truth, because at some point, enough is enough, right? And this girl's been running around, going on a bunch of different podcasts, trying to smear his name, the brand's name, etc. So it is what it is. It's over for you, Daisy, or I should say Jin Chen, because I know your real name, by the way. And I know she's watching right now. And we're honestly, like, the chickens have come to roost, because we weren't going to come out with this. We're going to keep this professional and, you know, let this play out in the legal world, etc. But I'm not Fresh. I'm not Walter. I'm my own man, and you're coming at both of us, so it's over for you. And I'm going to come with the facts today, okay? Before I get into it, guys, rumble.com/freshfit. We're live on all the platforms right now. As you guys can see, we already got 14,000 on here, and we just started this bad boy, right? Rumble.com/freshfit, castleclub.tv, because if we do got to take this video down, you guys are going to be able to find it on Rumble, and also on Castle Club. Also, guys, we got our live event April 26th. If you guys want to meet us in person, make sure to come check us out over there. It's going to be right here in Miami Beach to be specific. Top of the description to get in there. Tickets are, very fairly priced, $100 for entrance fee. If you want to do the VIP, fantastic. But we're trying to make it affordable so as many of you guys can come and meet us in person. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be
Of course, I'm going to go ahead and try to fast forward it for y'all guys.
Right? Then, so
this right here is pretty much where he is going to pretty much be doing the timeline, pretty much breaking down when they were dating, how long they were dating, so on and so forth, man. So look, let's go ahead and get into it.
Outline their relationship for you guys, okay? I have dates here, etc., and we're going to walk through it real fast. So, number one, they were never in a serious relationship, okay? Though she might say, oh, I was in a serious relationship with him, and she goes on this podcast saying, I loved him, etc. He was seeing other women. And you guys know that because if you saw the video clip, right, she says that he was talking to other women. So she knows that, right? So they met on November 21st at El Santo, okay, which is a club here in Miami, right? Pretty much fresh trademark. They went on their first date November 26th. They had sex that night, okay? She left on November 28th for New York. As you guys know, this girl has an apartment in New York as well. She was going back and forth between here and there. And then they talked on WhatsApp on January 1st, 2024. So he saw her again, guys, right? So she left the 28th, and then he started talking on WhatsApp on the 1st. I mean, they were talking on Instagram before that, but as you guys know, we can't show those messages because first Instagram got wiped with mine. Then on December 28th to January 10th, she was in Miami, right? They spent a few days together. About half that time, she wasn't with Fresh, right? Then they didn't see each other again until March 9th, right, in Barbados. They met in Barbados and hung out in Barbados for a few days, right? They were there for approximately 3 days. Then she was in Miami for the rest of that period, right? So from March 9th to the 24th, they spent time together here in Miami and also in Barbados. That's where she met his family, etc. Right? Then, so what? We're talking about 20 days here that they spent. Even though they knew each other since November, she was in China for a period of time, New York, etc., come back and forth. So they've spent about, I'd say, roughly 15 to 20 days together, right? Cumulatively. During the course of this time, there were a bunch of red flags that Fresh noticed that made him say, you know what, I don't know if I can take this girl seriously. Number one, he had mentioned to her that there was a guy in Las Vegas. As you guys know, we go to Las Vegas all the time.
And as he's sitting over here saying that, hey, well, Fresh saw some red flags, right? Fresh saw some red flags where he did not want to date this woman, that he didn't want to do anything with this woman. But he was still shooting the club up. I believe everybody was agreeing on that one. I believe everybody was saying, yeah, brother was shooting the club up. So, I mean, the chances of this even being true is kind of high. The chances of this being true, that she might have this man's child, is very high. I mean, let's just be honest here. So, once again, how can we sit here? Like I said, we gotta be able to hold each other accountable. Now, some brother in the comments over here said that, hey, well, you're just another. I look at you making money, sitting over here, man, down and fresh and fit. Understand, I would never, ever talk bad or talk trash about people who are in the red pill community or in the manosphere. Like, I mean, what's the purpose? What is the purpose of bashing somebody else who does the exact same content, who wants the exact same goals as I do? You get what I'm saying? So, since when does holding these brothers accountable, right, become, hey, well, you're bashing your own? Not really bashing your own. Not coming from, right, these brothers, man, who, once again, been effing up for 3 years straight. And my biggest thing is, why not just stack your bread and keep it moving? They could have been found a solid chick and they wouldn't have to be going through all of this. But hey, right, they're really not practicing what they're preaching. So then we have this brother here, right? Of course, you got Myron. He's gonna go ahead and he's going to try to speak on Fresh's behalf, because we all know Fresh can't damn explain himself, man, whatsoever. Fresh can't explain himself. So, of course, you got to have his homeboy Myron to jump in for him. But like I said, it's still a bad look with his name even being attached to this stuff. That's what people are not understanding, right? I mean, really, I don't know, man, right? They're sitting over here saying that, hey, well, she could she's lying. I mean, she came back with a negative test, and then a following week later, she gets upset. Now she's saying that she's pregnant. Right now, when you look at the Alvin Priest video, where she kind of shows the ultrasound, hey, I guess it seemed kind of fake, but I mean, hey, who knows, right? Who knows? But once again, the fact that Fresh's name is even involved in this is just an issue in of itself, right? In of itself. So, like I say, man, it ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good. But let's continue to hear what Myron got to say.
Time to do, Access Vegas, etc. We'll actually be there tomorrow. Okay. And when we were out there, a photographer had said, "Oh, I know her," and he didn't say anything bad. However, when Fresh mentioned to her that someone in Vegas knew her, she got really nervous and scared. And he was like, that's weird. Why would you get so nervous? Right? Number 2, she has 3 phones. Okay? 3. He saw towards the end of the relationship, and what made him kind of say, I don't want to deal with this girl anymore, was he saw random conversations with 4 numbers unsaved on one of her phones. Okay? When they came back from Barbados, they were stopped by customs. They interviewed her for 2 hours, guys. Okay? When she was being held at customs. You guys know I used to work for Immigration and Customs Enforcement as an investigator for Homeland Security investigations. And normally when they detain you at the airport like that, something is going on. And they detained her for 2 hours, and she showed pictures of her and Fresh together, etc. More than likely, what I'm suspecting, I don't know this for a fact, but for them to detain her for 2 hours. Remember, guys, she's a foreign national. She's Chinese. She's here on a visitor visa, which she's admitted on other podcasts, by the way, which is typically a B1, B2 visa. They probably think that she's here working illegally or maybe doing some kind of sex work, which we're going to get into that as well. Okay? We don't know for a fact, but for them to hold you at the border like that tells me something, right? Then, after Fresh cut the relationship off for her, she finally admitted that she had sugar daddies in the past. She took off to New York right away, right? And she didn't. And we'll show an Instagram picture right now, actually, real fast, of when she took off. So she goes after Fresh told her, "Hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't intend on marrying you, and I'm not going to get you an apartment because, mind you, this all started, guys, because she wanted an apartment and Fresh said no, right? And she drops it. So she leaves abruptly and she drops the Instagram story saying bye, going to find a better life, right? As she's getting on a plane to go back to New York, and she's been in New York since, right? She left on or about, I want to say March 26th, I think is the day that she left, March 26th. So they get back. So the timeline, again, November 21st, they meet, okay? No, they hang out again December 28th to January 10th for a period of time. Then from March 9th to the 24th, he basically breaks up with her a day or two after they get back, after they're back in Barbados here in Miami, says, "Hey, I don't want to get you the apartment. I don't want to marry you. I don't think this is going to work out like long term," because she wanted a serious relationship. So she gets on a plane and leaves on the 26th, right? Mind you, well, actually, no, we're going to talk about that later on. We're going to talk about the pregnancy in a whole other chapter. We got a couple chapters on this thing. But I just wanted to give you guys the relationship, okay? So that's how they met. That's how long they've hung out with each other, known each other. Though they've known each other since November, cumulatively speaking, okay, they only spent roughly between 15 to 20 days actually hanging out with each other and speaking to each other. And during the course of them meeting and hanging out with each other, Fresh is vetting her. He's testing her, he's asking her questions, etc. And she failed the test, right? She failed the test. These are a couple of the red flags that he noticed while he was hanging out with her in person that made him say, I can't commit to this girl. I can't take this girl seriously. Mind you, he was doing this thing and he had other women as well, which is something that she was also angry about during this whole situation. So there we go. Now that we have an idea of the relationship, let's get into the other elephant in the room, okay? We talked about the first elephant in the room with the relationship and Fresh being an idiot, which he is. Let's just be honest here. He made a big fucking mistake. And it is what it is. You know, guys make mistakes. No one is perfect. But this one was a big one. And we got to take accountability for that. He fucked up here, right? So as you guys know, she's been running around.
Now, finally, right? As long as he can say that, right? As long as he can sit up here and say that, man, we're all good. We're all good, man. Now, granted, I ain't gonna say we're all good just because for the simple fact that y'all still found yourself in the same situation again. Like I said, anytime you hear about Fresh and Fit, sadly, it's always something bad. Well, Fresh and Fit sitting over here fighting with Asian Dog. Well, Tommy Sotomayor sitting over here doing something with some sister on the pod. They sit on here fighting back and forth. You get what I'm saying? Myron sitting over here, man. Y'all know what he was doing against the blacks, man. Sitting over here putting on the little hat or whatnot, at being extra, right? Y'all know what Myron was doing, right? I mean, what else was he doing? I mean, go on sitting over here telling a woman, hey, look, in order to get on my show, you're gonna have to spread something, right? You're gonna have to spread something like some butter. So it's just like, I mean, like, you gotta make it make sense. It's always Fresh and Fit is always in the news for something bad. And that's what I'm saying. They're just destroying their credibility. Now, like I said, granted, hey, and he probably talked to Fresh behind closed doors and said, yo, man, look, this right here, man, what are you doing here? Right, this right here, what are you doing here? I mean, I get it. She looked decent, right? Don't get me wrong, she looks decent. But, I mean, she can barely speak English. Right, even though Fresh, he can barely speak English too. But I mean, once again, man, like, let's be honest here. You don't. What was the purpose, right? What was the purpose? The dude took Passport Bros to the 10th degree, and then now you're in this situation. And once again, this is an avoidable situation because this is something that they've been a part of for the longest. You got to know better. But once again, this is why we have to hold each other accountable, man. And we're going to be held to a higher standard. We're going to be held to a higher standard. So when you look at Abba and Preach, like I said, they destroyed them, right? They in a sense destroyed them. But once again, they're very biased on those interviews, especially Abba, right? Especially Abba or whoever the one that was interviewing Daisy or whatever her name is, because Daisy really isn't her name. But like I said, man, and like I said, the fact that they couldn't even figure out that, hey, well, you know what? She was out here doing something back over here in China. Once again, man, like I would have at least tried to find a way. If they were able to access that, they should have been accessed that a long time ago. They should have been accessed that a long time ago. But they wait until now to want to access this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they try to pretty much Myron try to pull the hey, she put on a facade. We didn't know. Come on now. Of course, man, when women sit over here and say, well, he put on a facade. I didn't know he was that type of person. BS, right? That's BS. Right? That's BS. So let's go ahead and jump back into it, man.
She went on Abba and Preach's pod, right? And I'm not surprised. Abba and Preach have been making videos on us for years now at this point. They've made somewhere between 30 to 40 videos on us, talking shit, trying to attack our character, etc. And other podcasts as well she's went on, talking about this story, etc. She's essentially been doing a press run the past few days ever since she leaked this phone call and text messages, right? And I'm going to show you guys a clip. One of the things she's been doing is saying that she is not a sex worker, right? So let's go ahead and play the two clips where she says this. Here's from one podcast, which I will not name.
They're accusing me for being escort and being on this kind of website. Just use the brand. If I'm a Miss Asia and I'm a former bodybuilder, why would I put myself on the internet?
It doesn't make sense.
Website. That is
it doesn't make sense. We even one thing that I did.
Okay, so he says, "Yeah, doesn't make sense. I don't believe it. Yeah, you're not." Now let's go ahead and play our favorite YouTubers here, because and it's interesting because these guys were so quick to try to use this as content to make us look bad. They didn't properly vet this girl, but it's okay. I'm gonna do it for them, because since they want to bring this girl on and platform her, etc., but they don't know the real Daisy Chen. They don't know Jin Chen, but I know Jin Chen, and I'm gonna make you guys very familiar with her as well. We're all gonna know Jin Chen when this is done. Let's play their clip now.
That I would interview the woman in question at the heart of this whole thing. She provided me a bunch of screenshots.
Hey, man, I understand, man. This all could have been avoided, right? This all could have been avoided had they did all of this vetting in the beginning. Had they did all of this vetting in the beginning, they could have avoided all of this. But no, they decided to wait. right? They decided to wait. So now look where we're at, right? Now you give them Abba and Preach more content, right? You giving them more ammo to sit over here and bust across your damn head, man. Bust across your muffin, okay? Nah, it's sad, man. Like I said, it's sad, bro.
Screen recordings, and a bunch of different things. And I think it answered a lot of the questions that would seem to be unanswered before. Things like whether or not she's a sex worker. She isn't. What was the time?
Okay. Abba,
You stupid.
you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to show it right now. So let's go ahead, and she said she's not a sex worker. She's not an escort. Okay. What's this? In this photo that you guys can see here, we can see Jin Chen meeting up with a potential client. Okay. I'm not going to say where this was, but what I'm about to show you guys is all exclusive stuff that no one else has. Okay. But it's an anonymous source. Okay. So this is a photo of her meeting up with a guy, and it gets better. We got video and audio. Run the clip.
If you call me an escort, prove it. Prove it.
Personally, did you pay her?
No.
Cash or not?
No. We can transfer. Do you have cash?
I would prefer to pay you half first and then half after. It's never worked out who I pay her from.
Why? I'm here. What are you worried about?
One time, I paid her all up front. I was a pleasure. She said she came out 3 times and that she couldn't do it anymore.
So you're going to do it like 10 times?
I have been scammed in the past.
Yeah, but I'm a girl. I need to be more secure. If you're not making excuse, that means you are not willing to pay.
I would like to please you more for like an hour or so. It's not just to be fucking. Oh yeah, usually I'll do it for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Non-stop.
And this stuff for maybe 30 minutes or I sleep in it.
I cannot stay for 2 extra hours.
And you can't say for 2.
Hey man, like I can't even help but laugh, low key. I really can't even help but laugh, low key, just because I don't know. It just seems like it does seem. If somebody were to say, "Bro, this looks fake. This looks set up," I would agree. Right? I'd be like, "Man, yeah, this kind of does look fake." But at the same time, I mean, I don't, I don't know, man. Like it's a little shit show. I can tell you that right now, boy. This is a shit show, man. But hey, I'm glad, man. We all here, man, to be able to enjoy this, man. Because like I said. It once again, it's sad that Fresh has to go through this, but at the same time, he knew this. He knew this because he talks about this every single night. You talk about this every single night, and your name still pops up in this. And my biggest question is, why can't y'all just grab your bread and just keep it moving, man? Why not just grab your YouTube money and just keep it moving? Like I said, he got kicked off the platform. Well, I want to say they got kicked off the platform for him, but they did get demonetized, so they can't even make no money, right? So they over here making some of their money off of Rumble, but we all know YouTube got some pretty good money in it. So they went ahead and destroyed it themselves because what? Immaturity, right? Immaturity. So when you look at like I said, when guys sit up here and say, "Man, look, these dudes really don't know what they're talking about," I don't know, man. It's like they're trying to live a lifestyle, man, that they know they're not even. That's not who they are. They're trying to live a lifestyle. They know that's not who they are. Now, Myron is one thing. Myron, I guess he's able to find his way around because, I mean, he's, like I said, he wants 2 wives. And, hey, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But Fresh, I don't know, man. He's got exposed over and over, especially by DJ Academics, which makes it even worse because you done met a chick on a yacht. You done met a chick who's over here pretty much disrespecting you, being rude to you, and you still going to go back with it? You still going to deal with it? It's an issue, bro. That's the issue, man. So once again, you're not practicing what you're preaching. You want other men to sit over here and listen to you. And that's why I said, man, look, sometimes when you sit over here, you watch Fresh, you're like, man, look, what advice can this man really give you? Right? And like I said, I love the brother to death. Right? I love the brother to death, and he's very integral to the show. But at the same time, man, he really doesn't add much value, at least from what I see. Right? Now, they say he does behind the scenes, networking and stuff, I mean, that might be in question too, right? That might be in question too. But hey, let's go ahead and continue.
I can stay, but I cannot have sex for 2 and 3 hours. Who can do that?
It's not just sex for 2, 3 hours. You will have to trust me on this. It will not be uncomfortable. It will not be painful. If you are, you may go. I will not force you to stay.
You can pay me half, and I will stay here for 1 hour.
1 hour.
will stay here for 1 hour and then leave. Because for you, 1 hour is enough. You said 2-3 hours. I cannot stay for 2 or 3 hours.
You can't say it.
I can.
Honestly, the onus is on you to make this experience wonderful so that I will want to see you again.
Okay, so let's get started.
Are you sure?
I've got you in my sights.
I could end the podcast right there.
But at the same time, I mean, like, once again, they're going to say, hey, well, well, we didn't know, right? They're going to pull the, well, we didn't know. At the same time, it's like, man, look, Fresh was about to cuff a Bob. Fresh was about to cuff a Hope. So, I mean, he essentially falls in line of being an imp, for just being honest here, right? If you're not even willing to go back that far, to at least go, man, check, man, hey, man. Hopefully, she wasn't out here, boy, slinging that meow meow over there in China. Hopefully, she just wasn't slinging that around. But she obviously was, and you didn't even take the opportunity to go out and go look. You have to wait until now. You have to wait until your back is pushed up against the wall to actually say, you know what? Let me go ahead and start fact checking. Let me go ahead and start making sure, I'm dealing with the actual woman that she says she is. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Once again, you got to be hip to this. I mean, y'all are pros at this. So how are y'all letting this just slide right through your hands? It just doesn't make any sense, right? It just doesn't make any sense. Or Fresh is just really not about the red pill. Like, let's just be honest. He really just might not be about the red pill. He just kind of just hey, I'm just piggybacking. I mean, just hey, this shit fucking. I'm along for the ride. I'm along for the ride. I got something great with Myron. I'm just along for the ride. And like I said, I hate it because, like I said, I love them boys. I love the show. They built something great, right? But it's all being diminished by the actions, right? So that's what we just have to understand. It's all being diminished by their actions, man.
There. But wait! There's more. There's more. Because, see, she's been running around saying that she's not an escort, etc. No, I don't do this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'll let you guys decide what you think after seeing that, okay? We're going to keep going. There's more. I could end it right there, but let's go. Let's keep going. So, obviously, you guys can see here, that sounds like negotiating for something. I don't know what particularly, right? But I think we all know kind of what it may or may not be, right? So, she's also talked about how she's a good person and her character, etc. We got some more, guys. So, I have here a Chinese police report. You guys are probably wondering, Myron, what the hell? What's this? Guys, this is a police report where she basically stole money from an individual. Okay, yeah. She stole money from an individual. All right? And I had a friend of mine translate this for me. As you guys would know, I play Overwatch, right? And I have a buddy, I call him the Chinaman. And he went ahead and kindly translated this police report for us. And we have it for y'all here. Okay? At about 1940, on the evening of August 27, 2018, the reporter came to the police station to report that he met with a Chinese woman at about 12 o'clock noon on August 27, 2018 at lane 288 of Daza Road and exchanged 6,000 yuan for 870 with this woman. So basically, he wanted her to give him cash, right? At around 4:45 on August 27, 2018, the woman hailed a car through Didi Taxi and then asked the reporter for 6,000 RMB. And then the reporter gave 6,000 RMB to the woman, and the two got in the car. Soon after, she claimed that she needed to get money from China Construction Bank, the bank, and asked to stop at the China Construction Bank on Yongjia Road, Zhui District, Shanghai. But the woman did not return 10 minutes after getting out the car, and the reporter sent a message to the woman, but she replied she didn't want to meet the reporter. The reporter felt that he had been defrauded, so he reported the case. So this woman takes this guy's money and runs off with it, right? One of the people that one of her clients, right? So what does that say about her character? And you guys might be wondering, well, Myron, you got proof? Oh, I do got proof, actually. I got video. Here she is, taking the dude's money and doing what she's about to do it. Oh. Hey, man. I mean, I could end it there. I could end it there, can I? But guess what?
I've got you in my sights.
There's more. Let's keep going. The show goes on. The show goes on. We going all the way today, baby. We going all the way, because guess what? I'm fucking Leonardo DiCaprio this bitch. The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here. Let's fucking go. All right, so here we have her ID, right? Here she is. We obviously blurted out personal information so that we wouldn't dox her. But it's to show you guys that we know what we're talking about here. We actually have her Jin Chen. That's your real name, by the way, Jin Chen. It's not Daisy. You run around calling yourself Daisy Chen, but you're really Jin Chen. Okay? And we found out that you got fired from your job. Okay? Here's where you used to work for. Right? For a marketing company. You were a marketing manager, Daisy. Or should I say Jin Chen. And we had the documents to show that you got fired and why you got fired. Again, this is all in Chinese. But guess what?
I don't get it. You get what I'm saying? I really don't get it, man. Why women, like, hey, supposedly, she was a marketing advisor or whatever, right? I mean, have all the education in the world, have a pretty decent job, but you go sit over here and go shoot your butt up with some, I don't know, right? Some insulin or something. I don't freaking know, right? Shooting your ass up or something, right? Getting your chest, getting your lips done, getting your eyebrows done, getting rapid claws and all this stuff. Once again, these are your educated women. These are your women, man, who are smart. Once again, just use the brain. Just use the brains. All you got to do is just use the brains. If you use the brains, you're good. But once again, so many women want to just say, you know what, hey, because I look pretty, it can get me by. That's essentially what's going on with her right now. That's essentially what's going on with the woman that's claiming to be Fresh's baby mama. When you look at it, man, she's pretty much passing by because of her looks. Because of her looks, not because of her smarts. Because she really ain't got any. I mean, kind of Dumbo if you ask me, right? It's kind of Dumbo if you ask me. So, like I said, man, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. And the fact that you are able to find all of these videos, the fact that you were able to find all of this information, and you mean to tell me you couldn't find that beforehand? Like I said, man, but then get upset when people say, well, you're not practicing what you're preaching. Okay.
My boy, we rise once again, a.k.a. Chinaman, the guy that I play Overwatch with, and we raged together when we destroyed these scrubs. He went ahead and translated for you guys. Once again, shout out to Chinaman. We got the official documents. Shout out to We Rise. He's on the line as well. But here it is. Here's why she got fired, guys. Okay? Miss Chen Jing, you have been working at Shanghai B-Main Performance Agency Co. since July 2nd, 2018, and your current job is a business assistant. The 3-year labor contract signed between you and the company on July 2nd, 2018 shall be terminated on August 3rd, 2018, and the employment relationship shall be terminated at the same time due to the following circumstances. What else was going on in 2018 when she got fired from her job around this time? Oh, she was stealing money and negotiating for fun with people in rooms, which we showed video of earlier. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. By consensus of the parties, the worker is proved to be ineligible for employment during the probationary period. The worker seriously violates the rules and regulations of the unit. The employee seriously derelict in his duties or commits fraud for personal gain, causing major damage to the company.
You stupid.
The employee establishes labor relations with other employers at the same time, which has a serious impact on the completion of the work of the employer, or refuses to make corrections upon the company's request. The personal certification materials provided by the employee to the company are false, or the company concludes or reviews the labor contract contrary to its true intention by coercion or taking advantage of the danger of others. The worker is investigated for criminal responsibility in accordance with law. After the expiration of the medical treatment period, the worker cannot engage in the original job or work arranged by the company. The worker is not competent for the job and is still incompetent for the job after training or job adjustments. There's a major change in the objective circumstance on which the labor contract is concluded, making it impossible to form the labor contract, and the two parties cannot reach an agreement on the change after negotiation between the parties. Other circumstances provided for by laws and administrative regulations. Please go to the company's personal administration department before August 6, 2018 to go through the resignation procedures such as work handover, return of goods, and settlement of expenses and remuneration. So what does this all mean, guys, right? Obviously, they have to formally get rid of her and list out why. But obviously, we got fraud, using fake documents to get the job.
Now, just to kind of help him out here a little bit, pretty much the reason why he's even having to break all of this down is just to pretty much show the credibility that this woman has. I mean, the fact that, you know, she's coming from, you know, supposedly she's, you know, she says she wasn't being a sex worker, but she is, right? I mean, I guess you got video proof of that, right? I mean, you got a whole video of her flashing money, and then on top of that, all of these interviews that she's being in. I mean, dude, the bitch can barely goddamn freaking speak, man. So I mean, like I say, is she really even credible, right? Is she really even credible? She's really not, right? She's really not. So, and then also when you do have a video where she is talking, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, but you have a video where she's pretty much talking, and she pretty much, you know, it seems as if she's getting coached up, right? Where she's talking about how ugly, I guess, Fresh is or whatnot. I mean, it's just funny how, once again, all your women like to sit over here and talk about how ugly the man look, this, that, and the third, but they still deal with him. It just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, she's talking smack about dude, but then turn around, you get what I'm saying? Like I said, sis is not credible whatsoever. Sis is not credible whatsoever. You can talk smack about him, but then turn around and still have kids with him. Just doesn't make any sense. So you got somebody in the comments, man. Let's go ahead and read the comments real quick. Somebody says they are so goofy. None of that matters. He still hit those raw and got her pregnant. Allegedly, yes. Myron even says she was not a sex worker. So what about that? Which one is true? I mean, like I said, I mean, but he supposedly he proved it. Right? Supposedly he proved it with with that video right there. I question the video. You know what I'm saying? I question that video, but at the same time, you know, I mean, hey, I mean, like I said, somebody brought up the last live that we had and said that they said, hey man, look, this probably could be a setup, right? This probably could be staged. The only reason why I say this can't be staged is just because you're talking about, I don't know, this just doesn't, like I said, this doesn't look staged. I mean, what would be the purpose of trying to stage something like that? What would be the purpose of trying to stage something like that? So, you know, I mean, like I said, those videos look pretty sketchy to me. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, who knows, bro? You know, who knows, man? Who freaking knows? But we all gonna see. I got a little story where a girl sat over here and she tried to sit here and say that she had a child. I mean, she was about to have my child. I was like, no, you shitting me. The way, like, pretty much it all started with her sending me a picture on Snapchat. Now, you know, on Snapchat, you have to, like, when you click the message, you have to click on the picture or the video to enlarge it and actually watch it or see it. So I see the picture that she sent, and I saw it was an ultrasound. Now, the reason I'm already sketchy about it is because the night before I told her, don't want to deal with you anymore, ready to move on, yada, yada, yada. So she sends this the following day. So she sends that ultrasound. So I'm like, man, shit, me. Come to find out, she's pretty much lying, right? Come to find out, she's pretty much lying. Same thing could be in this situation where Fresh alleged baby mama brought out some papers. I mean, you get what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said, this whole thing is fishy. This whole thing is fishy.
Exploiting the company's resources. We actually heard from the boss that fired her that she stole money from the company. So not only was she engaged in nefarious activities that may or may not include sex work, she's stealing from clients, right? They file police reports on her. She's getting fired from jobs because she's stealing from them too. Is this someone that you guys would believe? Obviously, she's been lying all over the place, and she's having inappropriate relationships at her place of work as well, which is another reason why they got rid of her. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But wait, there's more, guys. We're going to keep going. So as you guys know, right, she said, oh, I don't care about money. I just want to hold Fresh accountable, whatever the hell. Let's run the clip from our guy Destiny real quick, where she went ahead and had a whole conversation with him.
I don't care about the money. I like his lifestyle. By the United States law, he has to pay for the child support. How much money do you think a man should make for it? Yeah, I told them $1 million.
Walter apologized for everything and came clean on everything. Would you want him to be involved in like your child's life?
But why would you care about that?
Shouldn't the priority be to like build a healthy life for your future child? Shouldn't that be the focus? You don't care. You're not caring. The child right now is just a money ticket for you. You're not caring at all about the child. Why are you leaking
What is
all
the
this
money?
publicly?
What
the money is the
what
child
the
support
money?
you think that you were talking about earlier.
Look,
You're very
what are
fond of
you?
it.
I don't want to talk to you.
Dusty's gonna take a break.
He doesn't want to. She doesn't want to talk to him because it's exposing the truth. You say in one sentence, "I don't care about the money." Then you're saying, "Oh yeah, a man's got to make $1 million a year," right? Guys, this woman is a predator. She's obviously coming and trying to use guys, etc. And here's the thing, right? Like I said before, Fresh fucked up, right? He made a mistake. He shouldn't have messed with this girl in the first place. This girl's a predator, all right? But this is what happens a lot of times when you're a guy. You got some money, you got some status, etc. Girls will try to use you, right? Thank God he saw the red flags and cut it off when he did. Obviously, he didn't cut it off fast enough, but this girl had intentions, right? Nefarious intentions. So I just want to ask you guys one thing, right? So obviously we've went through who this woman is, Daisy Chen, aka her real name. I'm gonna call her Jin for the rest of the show. Jin Chen. Okay, Jin, we know who you really are now. You're involved with escorting, potentially, right? Allegedly, when we saw the video, right? We know that you stole money from somebody, ran away with it, basically robbed the guy. We know that you can't hold a job. You got fired from stealing money from that company as well, having inappropriate relations, etc. So let me ask y'all, someone like this that has this kind of character, do you think they're going to be honest? I mean, let's go through it real quick. So on March 24th, just so you guys know, right, when they got back,
So, I mean, you know, shoot, for most of you women, they just do not have the credibility, right? And that's pretty much what he's trying to expose is, man, look, can you really believe this woman if you can't even prove some of this shit, right? If you can't even sit over here and be serious about some of the stuff that you're saying, right? You're all over the place. You're jumping here, you're jumping here. You're saying, oh, well, you know, hey, well, it's really not about the money. But then turn around and say that, you know what, hey, he needs to be making $1 million a year. You know, money this, money that. And this is why I said the chick is not that bright. So this is what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, look, how did Fresh fall for this, bro? Right. And once again, you sitting over here doing the lying and doing all of this stuff. Well, you know, this wasn't my girl. You know, I wasn't sitting over here taking it seriously. But then you sitting over here saying that you love the chick. Y'all on it. I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. So the fact that once again, you can't cover that up. Yeah, you can't cover that up. But once again, her credibility is shot. Right. But once again, we already knew she was your modern woman. We already knew this. But hey, guess what? We're always going to keep saying, hey, well, you know, we all make mistakes. Right. Granted, we do. But the mistakes that Fresh and Fit is making, those aren't mistakes. Those are bad decisions. Those are not mistakes. Those are bad decisions at the end of the day.
Towards the end, she did a pregnancy test, guys. And first, I didn't want to mention this on the last show, but I'm going to mention it. Came back negative. Okay. He saw it and his mom saw it. She did a pregnancy test on the 24th, came back negative. Right? Then a week later, she calls Fresh to say, oh, I'm pregnant. And she records the phone call. Okay. Trying to get a response. Oh, what are you going to do to me, etc. You know what? We could play the clip right now. Let's play it real quick. Can we pull it up real fast on the side, guys? The phone call that she had with Fresh. Let's pull that up real quick. Right? So she calls him and tries to get a response out of him. And Fresh obviously stays calm, etc. And the thing I also want you guys to know is that there was an agreement between him and her that they weren't going to have kids. He told her he didn't want kids, and she agreed to that. Okay? And I have proof of that right here, right now. Roll the clip from our idiots over there in Canada. So this is
So pretty much the reason that you don't see Fresh on here is because once again he can't even explain himself. He really don't even know how to explain himself, man. He's gonna sit over here try to explain himself. He's gonna sound like a dumbass. Like I mean, like it's better off to have Myron sit over here and explain everything for him. Myron is thorough. Myron is gonna pretty much. I mean, look at he's essentially building up a case here. If we're just being honest, right? He's building up a case as if you're. I mean, you gotta understand he's ex FBI or whatever. So you have to build up a case in order to be able to prosecute somebody, send somebody to jail. So you got to have a lot of evidence. So he's essentially saying, hey, man, look, here's why you really, first of all, here's why you can't trust this woman. She says she isn't a sex worker, but yet Myron shows videos of her in the act of being a sex worker. She says she doesn't really care for money, but you just saw her go back and forth with Destiny about some money, right? Where to the point where, I mean, you already knew she lost it when she sat over here and said, hey, well, I don't want to talk to you no more. Who are you? Who are you? Right? Of course, when you start making women think about their actions, think about themselves, they then want to sit over here, man, and start barking back and, oh, well, freaking dissolve all accountability. Freak it. Right? So pretty much, I mean, so that's why you got Myron up here. That's why you have Myron up here, because once again, he's breaking everything down. He's pretty much trying to set something up that pretty much absolve Fresh. He's pretty much, man, trying to do some damage control. That's all this is. He's doing damage control. That's why he's saying, man, look, Fresh, stay your ass at home, right? Stay all that stuttering and all that, not making sense. Stay that shit at home. Just let me defend you, right? Just let me defend you. So, in my opinion, it's a pretty good move. At first I was like, man, why is he just up here? But, once you think about it, you're going to need him up here because once again, Fresh is not going to be able to break this stuff down. Fresh, man, going to sit over here, trip all over his words, sit over here, man, end up probably exposing some shit he probably don't even need to expose and then shoot himself in the foot, right? Shit. Boy, Fresh, boy, I tell you, man, goodness gracious, man, this is some comedic ass shit, man. This is some comedic ass shit.
When Abba went ahead and interviewed her, right? So first, this is him asking her about them being monogamous, if I'm not mistaken, right? All right.
I don't want to.
Then I ask her, well, why do you not want to be intense about monogamy, but you are rushing to have a kid? I asked some tough questions.
That's a good question.
These morons can't even spell. They were in such a rush to get this video out and try to make us look crazy that they couldn't even spell. That just goes to show how thirsty these clowns are for attention, bro. Dudes went and did a video immediately and shot it. It just shot it. Oh, God, we got to make content. Oh! That's how I'm going to preach anytime something happens. We literally pay these bums bills, man. Let's go ahead. Let's run the clip.
I'm not softballing it.
No, I am mad at you.
No, she's talking about, like, I don't want to be too intense and, like, rush monogamy, so I'm accepting this. But, like, which one have a baby with them?
Yeah, I understand because I just felt like I just feel like I'm not that type of girl that I have to be with someone for years to get married, or if I like someone, I can have a kid with him for like a week. Like, it doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter. I was with someone for 9 months. He really wanted to marry me. He's American. And I didn't want that. I ended that. When I met Walter, I just felt like, wow, there's so much chemistry.
What? I mean, I agree.
I'm just trying to
talk to me.
Look, even the window licker's confused. Even he's like, this doesn't make sense. Even for him, this doesn't make sense. In his head, he's like, why are we doing this video? But again, the thirst for them to make content on us is so fucking strong that they will go ahead and compromise themselves and interview a criminal, which I've proven to you guys, that's pretty much on the run from China in the U.S., okay, doing a bunch of stupid shit. They will interview her for views. And these guys preach integrity. Hilarious. Continue on.
Girl I'm not the type of girl that's gonna have to wait for a long time before I marry someone. Huh?
Look, his brain is
What is that?
I mean, there's plenty of people who meet their husbands for the first time.
That's Abba's brain, right? That's preach's brain right now. Like, keep going. Okay, so
And as you can see, once again, she's just proving that, man, what she's saying doesn't make sense. That's why, hey, that's why, once again, Myron is sitting over here just setting the whole track and saying, man, look, this girl, but she has zero credibility. Once again, you can't sit over here and say she got zero credibility and still sit over here and put a kid up in here, right? Sitting over here busting in her raw. Like, what's the purpose? Once again, what's the purpose? But going back to somebody's comments, he says, bro, you sound crazy. Let that grown man speak for himself. What the F are you trolling? So, I mean, once again, like I said, if it's me, like I said, I mean, I'm just looking outside in. It is smart to put Myron there. Now, you're not wrong. He's the one who's messed up. He needs to be the one up here speaking. But we already know how Fresh is. He doesn't know how to defend himself. Right? If you leave him in a room to debate somebody like Destiny or whatever, Fresh is getting fried. Right? This is why I said in the first place, maybe Red Pill really ain't for Fresh. Maybe he need to be in the back, right, with Chris and Mo and all of them. But hey, once again, that's how they want to run their show. So you just gotta let it be. But I mean, like I said, man, fresh and fit, they're like two peas in a pod. So Myron will always be the voice for Fresh. Myron will always be the voice for Fresh, no matter what. So I mean, that's just how they rock. I mean, like I said, instead of sitting over here making this whole show about trying to defame this, pretty much trying to make this whole show trying to cover up his BS, really shouldn't even be happening, right? It really shouldn't even be happening. Really shouldn't even have the show in the first place. Just leave it how it is, bro. Take the L, eat it, and keep it moving. That's what happens, man, when you sit over here and try to live like O'Shea Duke Jackson say, an opulent lifestyle, trying to be fancy. Once again, I mean, people sit over here saying Fresh is over here scamming. Fresh really ain't no damn CEO. Fresh this, Fresh that. So once again, Fresh is in so much ish, it just doesn't make any sense, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And what he put himself through right now, it tells us everything that we need to know, right? But we better go ahead and finish up real quick.
All right. So obviously she doesn't even make sense when she talks to them, right? Now, here, I'm going to prove to you guys that Fresh not only didn't want to have kids, she knew that. And she agreed with him. She might not admit this, but let's go ahead. Let's play. So Abba asked her this question, right?
The same as saying he really wants to have a child. Why don't you get verbal confirmation if he really wanted a child with you?
God damn, he doesn't mind isn't the same as really wants to have a child. Why didn't you get a big verbal Bro, y'all are fucking stupid over there in Canada, bro.
You stupid.
Fucking Abba Preach are idiots. Like, they were so thirsty to get this video out. They didn't do a spell check. They didn't do a grammar check. No proofreading. They just wanted to get this video out as fast as they could because that's all these guys do is make hit pieces on us. They've been doing this for the better part of 3 to 4 years, bro. These guys are thirsty for content. It's hilarious. We pay y'all bills. You guys are our sons. You guys are literally our sons. You guys talk about us every chance you get, okay? And Abba, you're a coward, and I challenge you to a boxing match. You don't want to do it because you know what the hell's going to happen. You're a coward. You know this. But you're going to go ahead and put out these rushed videos, interviewing a criminal, giving her a platform, letting her tell you all these lies. You're over here believing her like she's not a sex worker. And I showed you evidence to prove that she is. Okay? So what does this prove? Abba and Preach claim integrity, but they don't have any. I wonder if they're going to make an apology video after this. Probably not. They never do. That's what they do. They just lie on people, give bottom feeder reaction content. It's fine, though, because we're giving a kill shot for you and her. Both y'all aren't credible. Let's keep going.
No, because I was pretty sure that he was so serious about me. But then, okay, but at least he's not stupid that if he does this to me, I'm gonna get pregnant. I think it's just misunderstood. Maybe he was just being irresponsible.
Rewind
but
this
for me, he's serious.
So one more time for y'all. So they ask her again in that poorly worded question. Let's play it again.
The same as saying he really wants to have a child.
We're going to play it all the way uninterrupted. I'm not even going to say anything. Okay. Hit play.
Oh, he was like, he was kind of like just admitted that if he's gonna make me pregnant, he's just gonna like raise a baby with me, and he
So she says this
didn't
first,
like
right?
say that, but all this his action proves that.
Doesn't mind isn't the same as saying he really wants to have a child. Why don't you get verbal confirmation if he really wanted a child with you?
No, because I was pretty sure that he was so serious about me, but then okay.
Pause. So in one sentence, she said he wanted to have a kid. Then then Abba even asked her, right? Hey, well, why did you get verbal confirmation? No. So she never got confirmation at all that he wanted to have a kid. And again, remember, guys, because look, when you look at that phone call, right? As dumb as Fresh is for having sex with this fucking dumb bimbo, right? We need context. So he's with her, knows her for a period of about 20 days. That's why I told y'all, context matters. They had hung out for cumulatively for approximately 20 days. He's vetting her throughout the process, right? But also stupidly having sex with her. Let's add that, right? Unprotected. He says, I don't want kids. She agrees. She does a pregnancy test on the 24th. It's negative. Cool, right? All in the clear. Okay. She knows I don't want kids. She doesn't want to have kids. Keep in mind also, guys, this girl's a bodybuilder. She doesn't want to ruin her body. And we know why she doesn't want to ruin her body besides just bodybuilding. It's her moneymaker, if you guys don't remember earlier in the show what we showed. Correct? So, obviously, this girl's had plastic surgery, etc. She's a very vain person, right? So, in his head, he's thinking, okay, she don't want to have a kid. She want to ruin her body. I've told her I don't want.
Hey, so listen, we can sit over here once again. They oh, she's a very vain person. We talk about women like this all the time. They talk about women like this all the time. And this fool still sat over here and laid down with it and was busting in her raw. What did you expect to come out of this? And once again, this is what I'm saying. This is where these guys lose credibility. They've lost a lot of credibility. As somebody said, game recognized game, and Fresh don't have it. He was a lame. He got some money. Simple. Yes, and that's all that is. That's all that is, man. You know, what was it saying, man? Where it pretty much said, man, you know, money just amplifies who you really are. So I mean, you're a lame. You just become a bigger lame. Now, am I saying Fresh is a lame? I ain't gonna say Fresh is a lame, but let's just be real, right? Let's call it for what it is. This brother sat here and said he had 5,000 bodies. Like, come on, bro. Like let's be real. Now, Future said something like that, that'd be a different story. If somebody, man, you know, bro, who got game really said that, then okay, then we all know who the ones. We all know who the ones. If they were to say it, we know who it is. Right? We can tell if they're BS or not. Everybody named Mama sat here and said, yo, Fresh is on some bull. Fresh is on some bull. So, like I said, man, you know, yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, Fresh, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But like I said, man, you know, the fact that he even brought up that she's very vain, you know this, right? You know this, but Fresh seems like, and that's what I'm saying, Fresh goes back on what he's saying because he's saying, hey, look, you don't want to deal with these type of women. But then you turn around and literally you date the stereotypical girl we talk about. Hypocritical, man.
A kid. She agrees that she did a pregnancy test. It's negative. So then a week later, she calls and says, oh, I'm pregnant, right? Which we have the video right here. Let's play it real quick. Do we have it, Bills? Yeah, the call. So obviously he's in shock. Like, what the hell? We're going to have kids. What's going on here? So she calls him and she records it. She records it prior to calling him, which, by the way, is a felony in the state of Florida. Congratulations. You committed another crime besides what you did in China, right? Getting fired from your job for embezzling. And also on top of that, you know, committing acts of potential solicitation here, which we have video proof of. You're committing crimes all over the place. And then you also committed a crime by recording this phone call. It's illegal to record a phone call in Florida. Let's roll the clip. So she calls him a week later, after, mind you, a week after giving Fresh a negative pregnancy test, she calls him a week and says this dumb shit.
I want the baby because I don't want to kill the baby. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want to.
You're not. They just give you a pill and it's over.
No. I'm pregnant.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The pill, they just give it to you from a doctor and then you're good.
I am pregnant. I can't pretending like nothing happened. I can't. In my religion, we don't kill.
You're not killing. Okay.
I want to keep the baby.
Probing questions to get a response.
Well, like I said, I just don't want any kids.
And she knew that. That's not news.
Okay, so what you gonna do? And what you gonna do to me?
Pause. See, guys, like the fact that she's like, bro, who does that? Who calls, right? Like, and this is what I'm trying to say when I say we gotta question everything, right? She calls him, recording the phone call, asking probing questions to try to get an emotional response to make him look crazy. After they had agreed that they were not going to have kids, and you guys saw even in her own interview, she never got confirmation from first that she wanted kids. He told her we're not going to have kids. She agreed to them not having kids. She admitted that in the interview as well, right? But then she calls them saying, I'm pregnant. And on top of that, she had done a pregnancy test a week before. So let me ask you all a question. With the totality of the circumstances, with what we've shown that this woman is a liar, a manipulator, a thief, a criminal, a sex worker, okay? Do you think she's honestly telling the truth here with her being potentially pregnant? She's been doing a fucking press run the past week, going on every single podcast that will have her to talk about this, to bring up her brand and bring up her new Twitter that she just made and her Instagram. She's been doing interviews all over the place. Who would do that if they were actually pregnant with someone's kid? She's been doing a social media blitz, okay? Then she has the gall to make a joke with these idiots and say, yeah, I'll name the kid Abba Preach, Chen, whatever. Like, what? Who does that? If you were actually pregnant, would you actually do this stuff? Right?
Nope.
The reality is this, guys. He didn't want to be with her. He sent her home. She got angry about it.
Well, the only I gotta bite back on that one. The only reason, right? The only reason I say, man, some women will do that because y'all look at Freddie Gibbs and y'all look at his situation, right? His baby mama was sitting over here talking about she was gonna name the kid after I think Benny the Butcher or DJ Academics. I mean, you know, it just being funny, but it's just the fact that you really have women out here, man, who are willing to do stuff like that. Like, I mean, some women are willing to crash out so much that they're willing to sit over here and mess their name up just to sit over here and make you feel some type of way. Like, it's like pretty much a woman sitting over here. Well, let me get in a freaking go gargle some nuts, you know, because this guy done cheated on me. You know, I mean, like what? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm about to sit over here and go get a freaking whole train ran on me just because my boyfriend, you know, kissed another girl. He got lap danced by another girl. A lot of women go to the extreme. So yeah. Some women definitely would sit over here, bro, and do something like this even while being pregnant. Because Freddie Gibbs, baby mama, she was pregnant and she was doing crazy things, right? So it's only a matter of time until we find out if his baby mama is lying or not, and if his baby mama is lying, right? If his baby mama is telling the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if she sit over here, man, and try to get poked up by Abba, and he over here trying to poke the baby head. I mean, that's just me though.
Waited a week. Someone probably got in her head while she was up there in New York, and she said, "You know what? I'm done with this guy, but I'm gonna burn down the whole building while I do it because I'm angry and I feel a certain way. So I'm gonna let my emotions get the best of me, and I'm gonna air out all this stuff." Because they're not going to know about my past in China. They're not going to know that I got fired from a job for embezzling. They're not going to know that I was running around selling myself to people on the internet. They're not going to know that I was a sugar baby and that I was doing all this other stuff. They're not going to know that I stole money. We do now, Jin Chen. We know who you really are. You're not credible at all. Because you did it. You thought that your past in China wouldn't get back to us, but it did. Because in your own foolish attempt to go viral with this, people came forward and told us who you really are. You thought you would escape China and your past back there, but it came back to haunt you, and it's coming back to haunt you now. And you're getting buried with the fucking truth. Because everything I showed is factual. We know who you really are. We know what you really do. We got video. We got documents. Everything. Let's read some.
All right, y'all. All right, man. So look, we're gonna end it right there, man. I ain't trying to be on the live too long, man. I got to get up in the AM. But yeah, man. Look, let's go ahead and read his comments real quick. So he said he introduced his bride to his mama and put 15 racks on her bracelet. That's lame. I heard it was 30 racks. Yeah, I heard that. I heard it was 30, man. She dropped 30 things on, boy. I mean, like I said, bro, it's just so much stuff in him, man. Like, and I feel, and both of them are lying on each side. I mean, like, you got Freston over here saying he never dated a girl, he wasn't in love with her, but then you got videos of him saying that he loved this girl. I mean, like, it's all over the place, right? It's all over the place. So, you also said that you don't need a verbal consent if you are busting inside those sugar walls. Raw, that that was consent enough to have a child. I hope it was worth it. Yeah, man. Yeah, but that got fresh, man. Like I said, man, the fact that even Myron called it out and said, man, she's vain, right? Says she's very vain. She's a sex worker. I mean, you mean to tell me, bro, none of those signs was there? Right? You mean to tell me none of those signs was there? You didn't even tell me, man, the signs of the lip injections, looking like your Instagram models, right? Who have all these BBLs, like that just didn't come to your mind. That wasn't enough for you to say, hey, well, maybe I shouldn't be dealing with this woman. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting over here maybe I shouldn't be sitting over here hitting it raw. That's the biggest thing. Maybe I shouldn't be hitting it raw. Right? You see them up and barely freaking speak English, but you still decide to sit over here and bust in the raw. I mean, like, come on. I mean, once again, this is something that you're going to preach against. This is something that you preach against every night. So, like I said, man, it's all over the place, man. But look, man, y'all do me a huge favor, man. Y'all do me a huge, huge favor, man. I ain't trying to be on here for too long. But like I said, we're going to start doing more lives, and there's going to be some long lives. There's going to be some long lives. So, y'all do me a huge favor, man. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe, man. Y'all let me know down below, man. Do y'all feel like this woman is really having Fresh and Fit? Well, do y'all really feel like this woman is having Fresh's child? Like I said, I'm mixed about it. I don't know if she is. I don't know if she's not. But you know what? Hey, I mean, once again, at the end of the day, Fresh was supposed to vet this woman. He didn't. Fresh was supposed to vet this woman. He didn't. They decide to vet this woman after the fact, right? After Abba sat over here and made some interview, right? That was really weren't worth shit because I mean, sis, I mean, you really could barely even understand the chick. She's sitting over here, just you can tell she's lying. You can tell, man, she's just here for clout. You can tell she's just here for clout. But at the same time, she probably hit mother load. She probably hit mother load because I something made me is saying this might be true. Something made me is saying this might be true. That pug face dude that sat over here, man, and fucked up. Right? Like I said, I still love them brothers. I still love them brothers, man. Like I said, bro, they were one of the biggest reasons why I even wanted to start this channel. But at the same time, right? At the same time, man, you can't sit over here and not acknowledge the BS that they've been in over the years, and they're just making the red pill community look worse and worse and worse every single year. Ever since, man, Fresh sat over here and told that girl, hey, man, look, you going to have to give up some draws, man, to get on this damn show. It's just been downhill from there, right? It's just been downhill from there. So, you know what? Hey, who am I, though? Like I said, man, do me a huge service. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe, man. And we're going to go ahead and try to get another live in maybe Friday. Catch you on the flip side.